His love for others and his love to give to others is remarkable.
He's a catalyst for good, and he's using his talents for good. He's a great player, but it's him as a person that's really the story. If you ask one of the spouses associated with any of the three of us, they may use the word obsession.
It's a lot like golf, believe it or not. In golf you try to you work the process the best you can, you prepare. There's a lot between you and the hole that can kind of decide where the golf ball goes that you don't have control over. Barbecue's a little bit like that too.
The three friends formed a professional barbecue team called Q School and have won competitions across the state. But it all started with one bad bite.
We cooked the pork shoulder and it was terrible. I mean, horrendous.
Ever since that day, we have become obsessed with barbecue.
People would probably think we're talking a lot about golf. We don't talk anything about golf, and it's mostly barbecue.
But before his passion for barbecue was discovered, Stewart Cink's competitive drive was born not on a golf course, but on a soccer field.
I would actually say golf was my second sport growing up. I loved soccer. When I was 14, I remember the coach said, "Cink, you're back at D. You're too fat." And I was like, oh gosh, I am. I didn't like it. And I only lasted 1 year at D, and that was it.
Cink dedicated more time to golf and grew into one of the most dominant junior players in the country.
I can tell you where I really found out how good Stewart was, and I think he was maybe 15 or 16, and he shot 60 at our home course in a money game with some of the members. An absolutely cleaned house. And from that day forward, he couldn't participate in that game.
With offer letters to any school of his choosing, Stewart Cink had a tough decision, but ultimately there was only one perfect fit.
It basically turned into, a question of where can I get great golf, great academics, and stay in the South, and Georgia Tech was it.
During his time as a Yellow Jacket, Cink was an All-American in 1993, 1994, and 1995, was named ACC Player of the Year in 1995, and was inducted into the Georgia Tech Athletic Hall of Fame in 2005.
I felt like Tech puts you in a position where you really had no choice except to be organized and manage yourself well to be successful.
After finding success in golf at every level in his life, testing the professional ranks was just next in line.
It just seemed like the next thing to do. It just seemed like, okay, I came to college and I was intimidated, and I learned how to beat those guys. Now I'm intimidated by the pros, maybe I can learn to beat those guys.
Stewart Cink did that and more, with his best shot coming during perhaps the biggest moment of his career, the 2009 Open Championship.
Probably the most important putt of my life was the birdie putt on the 18th hole that I made to, at the time I didn't know it was going to be enough to get in the playoff, but I knew it wouldn't hurt. And but this was it. This was the putter.
We went on a hiking trip to Glacier National Park in 2009, right after Stewart won the British Open. The trailing car picks up a hitchhiker because we had room. So we're driving down this road, we pass a golf course, and the hitchhiker starts bemoaning the fact that Tom Watson had just been beaten by this guy, and he didn't remember his name. So the rest of us in the car, which I think included Lisa, Stewart's wife, were trying not to laugh, knowing that Stewart was literally in the car in front of us, and the guy obviously had no idea.
Winning a major is probably the pinnacle in our game. To be honest, I don't know if that's ever sunk in, that I'm a major champion. I don't know if I ever want it to sink in. I want it to sort of always be hovering around the surface.
That week at Turnberry created memories that will last forever. But playing on 5 Ryder Cup teams, that created friendships that will last a lifetime.
It really is like the ultimate honor in golf, I think, to represent the United States in the Ryder Cup. The guys that I'm the closest with are the ones that I played on those teams with. Almost always ask the captain for rookie guys to be partnered with, because I enjoyed that role and giving them what I enjoyed having.
Giving. It is a word that has become synonymous with the Cink family through their desire to help others.
Cink Charities is our family foundation, and we started it to really just to capitalize on golf as such a great vehicle for giving to those in need.
His status as a celebrity, if you will, he uses that for good, and he understands that he has a calling in life that's bigger than he and his family, and he uses it to help a lot of people.
He's very, very passionate about his tournament. It's called the Cink It Challenge. He's very passionate. His wife Lisa is very passionate about that.
What separates Stewart Cink is not his success and his glory, not his major championship and his awards, but the fact that in the end, he's still the same, Stewart Cink.
You know, the success and the fame that he has not changed him as a person, which I think if you measure yourself as a human, if you can say that at the end of your life, then that's a good thing to be said. And Stewart is 100% the same kind, fun-loving, humble person that he was that I knew when I first met him.